from TheJackSmit.com and welcome to our brand new series, Cinema 101, where we take a good, a bad and a downright ugly and explain it in ways that only we know how. And now we're starting here in Chorley at the legendary Reel, because that place got themselves in hot water a couple of days ago. Why? Well, all over trailer reels and promoting films that shouldn't really be promoted. But to explain a little bit more, I have to take you back to Smit HQ. This is Cinema 101. Cheers past me. Well, where do we begin with a quandary like this? Where better to begin than with the post which kind of started it all. It all kicked off on the Facebook page of One Real Chorley, a cinema you've just seen. A page which looks not too similar to this. Look at that, we got shiny new transitions and everything. So, if I go down and scroll through, you can just see there it is. Real cinemas are required by law to follow the British Board of Film Classification's rules. We therefore respectfully ask our customers to be fully aware of the film's certification and the age restrictions imposed by the BBFC before buying tickets online or at the cinema. And they do a little spiel about how you've got to be 15 to get into Venom, and anyone aged between 15 and 17 and who may appear younger than 15 will be asked to show proof of ID. And that, of course, dictates that they won't be able to get in. So, you can see why a lot of people kicked off. People were claiming that Reel had let their 14-year-old kid in to watch Venom with not even the bat of an eyelid. But let's get one thing straight. Those BBFC ratings are there for a reason. You don't want to let a young kid see something like Venom Let There Be Carnage. Not just because it's a 15, but because there's a lot more that goes on behind the scenes. We covered it briefly in our little Series 2 comeback episode of the Journal on the video nasties. We don't want a repeat of a panic or a scandal like that, do we? We've got to keep it all above board, all in one place. And what a lot of people don't understand, because a lot of the complaints are coming from people who were of the belief that because Venom was promoted before the box office sensation that is No Time to Die, which, as I record this, has made over £78 million at the UK box office. God, it feels good to say a film doing that kind of money again. Because No Time to Die had Venom trailers attached to it that were 12 certificate, that the actual film itself would be a 12 certificate. But if you work in the industry, and if you're a critic like me, who's seen the first Venom film and knows exactly what they're letting themselves in for, you can understand that there's no way in hell that film was going to get a 12. Not a chance was that film going to get a 12. It's wrong to promote those kinds of films before 12 and 15s, because let's get this straight. A lot of cinema goers, 9 times out of 10, they don't know the intricacies of this industry. They don't understand that the trailers have to go before the BBFC as well as the films. And I've toyed about doing a journal about this. And let us know if you want us to do a journal about BBFC ratings, because I could do a whole episode if I wanted to. But what people need to start understanding is that the trailers are rated very differently to the films, because there's a lot of factors at play. You've got the promotion of the films, you've got the marketing aspects of it, you have the certification aspect of it, you also have the internal politics. You wanted, if you were a cinema manager, you would want to promote something like Venom before Bond. I remember way back in the day when Guardians of the Galaxy came out and they played trailers for what would become an 18 certificate Sin City: A Dame to Kill For. View got a lot of flack for playing that particular trailer at Blackburn that day. I was like, well, if it's promoting a film that's probably not going to do as well, I can get behind it. But the crux of it all comes down to the BBFC, and I'm just going to quickly go on to the BBFC's website, because there is something that might be of interest. If I just nip over to the BBFC website, and if I go and I search for Venom, Let There Be Carnage, and you will see one result comes up. I click that, I scroll down, and look, trailers. 2 15 certificate trailers, those are the ones running before the horror films. 2 12A trailers, rated September 9th, well, September 5th. Those are the trailers that ran before Bond. Couple more 15s, couple more 12s, predominantly all 15 certificate trailers. Whereas, let's say, again, if I go and I search No Time to Die, I go 2020, even though classified 2021, I scroll down again, and you can see, they list all of the details. PG, 12, PG, even a U certificate trailer, and a couple of adverts as well. They have to rate everything that goes on a UK cinema screen, do the BBFC, with the exception of some commercials. That is a Cinema 101 in its own right. But what audiences need to start understanding is that the trailers are a completely different kettle of fish to the films, because sometimes they rate the trailers a little bit more harshly. I mean, we do want to repeat of that time there was a 12 certificate trailer for a 15 certificate sausage party.
They're eating children! Children!
Point proven. What we need to look at as an industry is how can we prevent something like this from ever happening again? Because it's going to happen a lot, especially if Marvel go full dark timeline on their MCU properties and we get a 15 certificate Doctor Strange next year on my birthday, because they've moved it to my birthday. Thanks, Marvel. But what we need to look at as an industry going forward is how do we prevent something like this from happening again? And a good way to do this, and Sony have been doing this, when a trailer's on screen, let's treat it like a film. Have the rating of that trailer on screen for 8 seconds. And on top of that, if the actual film it's promoting has already been rated, have a slide like this. We used to have them back in the day. So why aren't we seeing that more often? Is it because the distributors are getting lazy in terms of sending their DCPs out for the actual trailers themselves? Is it cinemas neglecting to do their duty of care and having the best possible indication that it's a 12 trailer be a slide that looks a little bit like this? Following trailers are appropriate to the feature certificate this programme. We need to do more as an industry to sort of promote the films and get that balance right, because you've got a lot of cinema goers who aren't as educated as people who've been doing this week in, week out for years. You've got parents who want their kids to see stuff that's appropriate for them. You also have, on top of that, the whole aspect of compliance, because if a cinema gets found out that they've been letting underage kids in to watch a 15 or an 18, they stand the risk of losing their licence. That's why they have to ID people. Because if they don't have that little extra check a gate, that's it. It could hit national news. Look, and I'm not trying to say, look, be a bit more mindful of what you let your kids watch. That's ultimately a decision of the individual cinema goer. But what I am trying to say is exercise a bit of caution. And to the distributors, don't put tickets on sale for films until you know what the rating's going to be. Because the amount of refunds that one particular site that I go to had to do because Venom was a 15, and the amount they're about to have to do because Last Night in Soho's an 18. Yeah. I don't think anyone in this industry thought that through, did they? This is a topic, the whole film censorship thing. I can rant about it for hours if I wanted to, but I want to save myself because these Cinema 101s are meant to be short, concise, straight to the point. But we have an issue with film trailer ratings. Do we embrace it and sort of take the BBFC rating of the final film as gospel, or do we adapt? Do we overcome? It's happened with Netflix. Netflix have voluntarily taken those BBFC ratings as gospel. I want to see the trailers do that more. It's not even been 6 years since the commercial reel before the film, which, let's be real, you all rave to it, was removed from that BBFC ratings classification. That was handed off to the Cinema Advertising Authority and other advertising standards boards. But the crux of it is, if you don't want to let your kids see trailers for stuff like Venom, if you're at certain sites, you can ask them at the tills and they'll tell you when the trailers are going to finish. Have we lost the plot as cinema goers? I think we have. And with that, that is the first little Cinema 101 bite done with. This is our little shorter and even more concise series. It's like a little bridge between the journal and what the hell happened, where we break down the topics that not many cinema goers actually understand or know about, because we're all about bringing cinema closer here at TheJackSmit.com. We've been shouting it from the rooftops on our brand ident for the last year. This is your show at the end of the day. So if there's any idea for topics that you guys want to see investigated in true TheJackSmit style, let us know in the comments, because what we want to try and do is make the big aspects of this industry a little bit more understandable, and importantly, educate you guys on how the industry works, why it works the way it does, and broaden your understanding of an industry that, well, it is crazy enough as it is coming out of COVID. But we want to try and make it simpler. So let us know potential topics in the comments. You can tweet them directly to me at TheJackSmit. But until the next Cinema 101 or the next journal, whatever goes out next, because I don't know what's going out next, we'll see you at the movies.